Okay, let's get to painting on this bakery scene. And what I'm doing the wall in the background behind the pastry case with an old rugged brick. And this is based on, last time I was at my collector event in Santa Fe, at my gallery there, one morning we had breakfast at this absolutely delightful little bakery, and just the walls were just beautiful. I showed you a picture in the beginning of the interior. There was also an arched little inset in the wall, or niche I guess as they call them in Santa Fe, that they had bread and stuff in. So I'm incorporating that into my Saint-Tropez painting. I'm standing on a little step stool so that I can paint the top edge of this canvas. As you can see, the image goes around the side of the canvas. And I've just, again, I showed you all those colors in my previous video, and I just scumble those up there. I just, as Jack used to say, I smush a lot of different color up on the canvas because I don't want this color to be solid. I want it to be broken and look like those old bricks. I'll worry more about the sides, but later. I kind of just want to start working around my sunflowers here and start getting my background in. I want my background to be fairly dark because, so the pastry cases, the pastries are lighter colors, and so this will accent the colors in here. So now on the arch, I begin laying the brush strokes. The bricks come around the arch here. Again, I want to work around my sunflowers. I don't want to obliterate my sketch because I've kind of got my sunflowers sketched in there in the positions that I want them to be in. Again, I'm just doing this very loosely. I don't want the background to be real distinct because I want it to just fade into the background. I work around my awning. The awning will be the piece that this goes with, the companion piece. The awning is green, and so green and white. So I'm going to make this awning in some of the same tones because I want it to look, I want them to be, you know, color compatible, not exactly the same. Now in between the bricks, then I come with a little darker grout line. And again, this doesn't have to be just real distinct. Don't want it just real super defined because my detail's going to be in the front. So I just want this to lay back there. I want the colors to be soft. I'll worry about the upper part later. Let me step down off of that stool. And then where this goes back under is darker. Let me make a little mixture here of my just white plus ultramarine blue. I want a cool color to help that to go back. Cool colors recede, warm colors come forward. So I want some cooler colors back then in here in that recessed part of that arch. And again, that was just a niche that was back there that then they had baskets with bread in there. But I just thought that was a nice touch. I don't know what the interior of the bakery looked like that Deanna took a picture in. I just have the bakery case, so that just leaves me, I can just let my artistic imagination just take over on this. So again, I want this color to be a little bit cooler. Goes back, and then I work around my loaves of bread. Get a little darker in here. And then my brick, as I come here, then will be lighter. Now then there's a couple of, I guess, copper or brass. There was some big brass. I don't know, I'm not a cook, so I'm sure there's absolutely terms for these pans and pots, but they were just hanging on the wall, and they were just, makes a nice design element in there. So one of those will be hanging on the wall here. But I just work this color around my awning and around the croissants. And I sketched this in with my mud mixture, which again is 2 parts of ultramarine blue and 1 part of alizarin crimson. And I sketched that in, and that is now dry. Sketched that in the previous session. So if I go over my sketch, I can just take a brush, dip it in my thinner, clean it, and just remove the paint off of my sketch. So I still maintain my sketch because I worked real hard to get everything in that sketch just the way I wanted it, so I don't want to lose it. That's the advantage of sketching it up in the mud mixture, and that's mud plus liquid. Liquid is a medium. It's called, I use Liquid Original, and I just can use that to make a thin wash. Mix a little bit of paint into that, makes a thin wash that then you can sketch and go over. Now this is that green mixture that I showed you in the first video. I just kind of add some of that back into the rocks. Just gives them the bricks just gives them a real weathered feel. Then I come back in with my darker. Now these bricks are come here with the darker mixture, just to this underneath of those bricks. Come back. I'll continue this process throughout the whole background. I'll work in and around my pastry cases. But this gives me a nice dark that then the light hitting all these pastries is just, it's going to glow. But it's a very muted colors. I had first thought about a lighter background, but since the pastries are so light, particularly these that are Deanna's favorites, I just figured that I needed a little bit darker background. So this brick just serves the trick. And that's how I work this. The process just continues. Keep working, and I can just come in between the paint mixtures. And again, I do this very, very impressionistically because I don't want this very detailed. I just want it to fall into the background. Bring this up a little bit closer around that, where that pot's going to be. The fun of working, I love working in oil paint. I can go back, the paint stays pliable and movable for a couple of days, so if I need to come back and do work on it, I can. I'm going to lighten this front edge just a little bit on those, just so that comes forward of that background. And then get my brick lines in here. I really appreciate you watching my YouTube videos. Please feel free to ask questions and visit my blog where I show the complete step-by-step process of this painting as well as the others I do. The link to my blog is in the description below. The address is also on the final frame. You can subscribe both to my YouTube videos and my blog, and you'll get a notification every time I make a new post. So you have a wonderful, wonderful day, and just thank you again. Happy painting!